All right, welcome to another tutorial. We're going to talk about just basic use of the Multitrack viewer and how that works in Adobe Audition 1.5. I'm going to open this up. Now I'm going to do a commercial for A&B Family Foods. I have already created the folder for it, and I already
When you want fresh quality groceries, stop by your local...
Hush. I already voiced it, created my...
When you want fresh quality groceries, stop by...
off. The raw file and the edit file. I'm going to import this one. So I double-clicked in my bin, and that's how it got me to there. You can see I've already actually created the commercial. This is just for practice, of course. So I have this. I'm going to drag that. I just clicked on it, and I'm just going to drag it over. So I clicked and held and drug it over, and it's ready to go in there. I like to put tracks 1 and 2 with voice, 3 with sound effects, 4 with music usually. 3, if there aren't going to be sound effects with something like A&B Family Foods, it's probably not going to have any sound effects. It's going to be voice and music, and that's about it. So I am going to look for music. Normally I'd go into the production bed library and something like that to find it. For this specific commercial, A&B Family Foods always uses the same music. So I'm going to click on that and open it. And don't forget, every time I go to import something, I just double-click in the bin here somewhere where there aren't any. If I double-click here, it's going to open that up in the edit view, and I'll just go back to Multitrack. So I'll grab the music, drop it into 2 here, because all I'm going to have is voice and music, and this voice is already less than 30 seconds. Okay, up here, this bar, if you use your mouse, the little wheel on your mouse, you can scroll, you can zoom in and zoom out. If you zoom in and out here, it's just going to actually scroll through the tracks. If you scroll here, use the mouse, you can see a lot more tracks all at the same time. And then specifically zoom in on one. I'll zoom in on track 11, and it's there. So wherever you hover over, when you zoom in, it'll be there. So I'm going to hover over 1, and I only need to see these 2 tracks. So here they are. That's actually a little obnoxious. For some reason, that bothers me. So I'm just going to see 3. That way I have a little space to work with. Okay, so here are the 3 key combinations you need to know when working in Multitrack View. S, V, and Control-K. Not Control-S, not Control-V, and K, S, V, and Control-K. Those alone will help you do a lot of things that will save you a lot of time. So you have this current cursor when you hit S. When you hit V, you have these crosshairs. S lets you move this yellow line, your time indicator line, around $3.98 per pound. And then when you hit the spacebar, of course, that will let you play. Steak and stop, $3.98 per pound. So I stopped it with the spacebar, played it with the spacebar. When I hit V, that gives me the crosshairs. I can select individual tracks, and then I can move them around. If I try that with S, it doesn't work. I'm selecting things. I'm highlighting certain areas of time. So S is for time, V is for motion, and I can move it around from track to track all the way down, all the way to the bottom if I wanted to. I don't know that there is a bottom. You probably have an infinite amount of tracks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit S to get this so I can move my time indicator line around. If you look down here at the bottom, you'll see what time you are, where exactly you are. So I'm going to hit S. I'm going to get to 30 seconds. I'm going to make sure this track is highlighted, and then I'm going to hit Control-K. What Control-K did was it split the clip. So if I hit V again and get my arrow, my crosshairs, or the arrow, then I can move this around and I can delete it. Another way to do that, if you don't have to hit Control-K, you can put your time indicator line wherever you want it, and then right-click, and then find Split. Then you can split that clip right there. I hit V again to get my arrow, and then I can get rid of this. I didn't really want to do that because now I have 23.493 seconds worth of music. So what you can do is just hover over the end of it, click, and then drag it out. And then you'll be somewhere near 30 seconds. It kind of snaps to that 30-second line, too, which is kind of a nice feature. So now we have the music, and we have our voice up top. I'm going to scroll in a little bit, move over. So we have these 2 elements, all the elements we need here And if I play it,
When you want fresh quality groceries, stop by your local A&B Foods.
obviously the music is way too loud. So I already have my voice where I want it. So I'm going to move it as far as level goes. So I'm going to move it over a little bit, scroll in here, zoom in so that I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to, this line right here at the very top is your volume bar. So I'm going to click on this box right here that's kind of hard to see in the top left corner, and I'm going to drag it down. I'm going to drag it down to about 64-ish%. Now I'm going to make another box. I'm just going to click on the line and make another box. I'm going to click again and make a third one, and then bring it down to about 16%. 16, 17%, somewhere in there. That's usually a pretty good level if your music goes from the top to the bottom, if it spans the 100% volume there. I'm going to move the voiceover just a little bit, and then I'm going to scroll to the other end. Now, the problem is this volume bar starts really low, but then it would get really loud as the commercial goes on because this little nub right here needs to be brought down. What I'm going to do first, though, is click on the line here. There we go. Bring this down to 16%, which is about where we had it. Make another one. I want it about 64%. Grab the one on the end and bring that down. And now we have a nice controlled piece of audio. It starts high, goes way down low through the whole thing, and then comes back up. It's not so low you can't hear it, but it is low enough so that it doesn't compete with the voice, because that's the most important part, mainly because I'm the one who voiced it. That's why it's so important. Oh, okay, so we're going to get back to business here. I'm going to create another little dot right here because I want to fade the music out. So create it right there. Grab this one on the end. Bring it all the way to the bottom. That way it starts at 64% and ends up at 0% at 30 seconds. So the commercial is exactly 30 seconds long. That's where the audio ends. So we have our voice, we have the multi-track view with the voice, and then the music down below, and now I'm going to play it and see how it sounds.
When you want fresh quality groceries, stop by your local A&B Foods. See this week's insert in the paper for great savings on boneless beef top sirloin steak, only $3.98 per pound. Rio Star grapefruits, 3 for 99 cents. And Lay's potato chips, 8.5 to 10.5 ounce bags, only $1.99. These are just some of the incredible savings you'll find this week at your locally owned A&B Family Foods in the Orchards and on 8th Street in Lewiston. Our family serving yours.
Perfect. Okay. Sounds good. It fades out nicely. The music isn't too loud anywhere. It does pop at the beginning. It pops at the end. Fills up the 30 seconds very nicely. So I'm going to highlight both of these. You don't have to. It's just something that I always do. I'll highlight both of them, come up to File, Export, Audio, and then find my folder and call it what it should be. The client name, space, hyphen, space, copy title, space, my initials in parentheses, and for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to give it an underscore and a 2. That way I know not to actually give this one. The other one is already done and in the system. I just wanted to show you how that works. So that's it. If you remember nothing else, remember S, V, and Control K. They will save you a massive amounts of time when you're working in Multitrack.